Hi guys. It is currently 12:35 p.m. in Vancouver. My name is TrashBabyy, and I decided that we would do some painting for today, because I received a crap ton of paint in the mail. Wow, that was a really ugly face. It's okay. It's fine. So let's start this video off with a candle. It's called Cozy Cashmere, and this candle, I really like this candle. It makes me feel safe and let there be light. There's our candle for today. It has like cute little holes. Anyways. Okay, first things first. I need my water. This is a really gross thing that I hold my water in. Let's get some water. Actually, you want to make that like ASMR-y vibe? See, I can ASMR. I feel like I'm putting on these videos a lot that it's ASMR, but I also speak kind of loudly, and I feel really bad for people who actually are expecting ASMR when it's just me wanting to hang out with people. I guess I should change that in my videos. My video titles, I mean. I'm thinking maybe we should do something based off of Paradise Lost, and that would give me a really nice excuse to talk about Paradise Lost, because I feel like that's something people use in their book reports enough for me to talk about, right? I love Paradise Lost. So, if you don't know, also I'm using a plate as my palette because I can't afford glass palettes. This is like $3 compared to a real glass palette, which is like 20. Okay, if you don't know about Paradise Lost, it was written by a man named John Milton, and it basically depicts the fall of humanity from paradise, which is the Garden of Eden. But interestingly, it's from Satan's perspective, and holy crap, Satan is like attractive in in this well, I mean, I find Satan attractive in a lot of different media, but Satan is attractive. Not in the sense that you can actually see what he looks like because it's a book. Well, no, it's not a book. It's poetry. It's an epic, to be precise. And but it's the way that he's characterized that makes you really like feel sorry for him and kind of think that he's attractive. Like at the very beginning, right? We start the story off where they're all the people who are fighting God are like, can you hear that? That's my mom screaming at the dog. I feel really bad for the dog sometimes, but he also bites like a lot because he's still a puppy. So you start off the epic with like, you know, the typical like declaration of theme and like, Muse, please give me strength or whatever. But the story starts off where you look at Satan and his followers in the lake of fire, about to like take over hell and stuff. And like all the other demons are like mediocre, right? And then they talk about Satan, who's tall and he radiates light and like he's like powerful and stuff, and you're just like, how could you not fall in love with Satan of Paradise Lost? Okay, like how can you not? So I think it would be cool for us to do the landscape of hell, maybe, or maybe we'll do like hell, earth, and then heaven, because basically in Paradise Lost, have earth is like hanging from like a chain from heaven, so that would be really cool. Yeah, we'll do that. You get to meet Satan and all his followers, and then you feel bad for Satan because he's like, all I ever wanted, you know, was, oh my god, that sounds like, who does that sound like? All I ever wanted was to be equal or something. That sounds like somebody, right? That's like a reference. Wait, I don't remember the reference. It'll come back to me. I actually changed into this really disgusting sweater. There's a fucking barbecue stain. I changed into this really ugly sweater because I can't find my towel that I use my brushes on, so I'm just gonna, you know, do that. Okay, so I guess we should start with like the base colors, right? I'm gonna bring the color down. This is gonna be heaven, I guess, because it's on top. Yes, big brain. So I read Paradise Lost because, I mean, everybody kind of hears about Paradise Lost at least once in their education, but I was supposed to read Paradise Lost for my second year university thing. How do I explain it? Like, my second year university class, yes. And I did not read that shit until the exam. Like, I swear. I don't know how I managed to get away with that, but I did. And I got a 90 on that exam, so yay me, I guess. It looks way darker in person. You just gotta trust me when I say that. I'm gonna add some purple at the top because that's the kind of person that I am. I'm still trying to figure out where that's from. Like, that, like, ew, that's a really ugly pink. I didn't think that through. That's not very pretty. That thing where it's like, all I ever wanted was to be your equal. I swear that's from something. Am I hallucinating? All I ever wanted. Thor and Loki. I knew it. Thor and Loki. I love Thor and Loki. I love Marvel. That's another thing about me. I fucking love Marvel. Marvel is like one of the best things that happened to humanity, okay? Ain't nobody can tell me otherwise. So I'm gonna add some streaks of white, because white is always a good idea. Whereas black is not always a good idea, white is always a good idea. I feel like for some reason it's not very pretty. You know, like, this is not the prettiest thing yet, but it will get pretty. So, the thing about Paradise Lost 2 is that it's all like, it's an epic, so it's written like poetically, I guess you can say, and it's hard enough to read like old English texts. That's already hard, you know, like, you don't need to make it, it's already hard, basically. But my goodness, if you're reading like texts that are not only like old English but also poetry, which tends to be most of them, to be fair, because like, novels weren't a thing until Mary Shelley, basically. But my goodness, it is so hard to understand. So if you can imagine this, right? If you can imagine me panicking prior to my exam, because of my poor decision making to, you know, not do well in classes and stuff. That really isn't picking up very well. I'm gonna have to fix this camera or something. It was a struggle to learn it. It was a struggle to read it and like try to decipher it before the exam. And to be fair, it was like a take home exam, so it was like because of COVID, everything's online and yada yada yada. Like it was like an essay that we could do online, but it was still hard. Okay, it was still hard. Okay, I think it's coming together. It doesn't look like it on this camera, but it's not bad. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and it'll be like the thumbnail. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is this gonna be a long video? I feel like this is gonna be a long video. Well, I guess we can make this like a series, painting Paradise Lost or whatever, and like learning about it at the same time, because I feel like someone out there is like me, panicking before an exam with no freaking clue what happened in Paradise Lost, even though the class spent several weeks learning it. Yeah, there's probably someone out there like that. I mean, considering there's a me, there will be a second me. So, okay, Paradise Lost, it has like, you start off watching Satan rally up his troops again. They're in hell and they're all like, I can't believe what just happened. We got fucked up by God. And then Satan's here being like, it's not our fault. How could we have known? What we just have to do is we have to keep thinking that we'll be okay. And if we do that, right? If we keep rallying ourselves and keep thinking we're strong, we can try again. And you know what? All that matters is that even if we don't win, all that matters is that we inconvenience God, which is like such a mood. It's honestly such a mood. So that happens, and then everyone's like, yeah, what a good idea and stuff. And then you have and then they all come together to kind of debate or whatever about what they should do, right? There's this one guy named Beelzebub who's on Satan's side for everything. He's like a little suck up. And then there are the other guys. I don't remember their names. One starts with an M. He's like the god. I don't know. But there's a bunch of kind of head demons or whatever. And they're all like trying to figure out what they're going to do. So, they end up going through some options like, oh, we should just go straight up to war because it's better than freaking being here. That's really dark. And then they were like, nah, that's not a good idea because we're just gonna get fucked up again. And then they were like, okay, then what if we just make this place like our paradise? Why don't we just make it as close to heaven? And then we'll be happy here. And then we're basically like giving a huge middle finger to God, who thought that we'd be miserable here, but we're fine. They were like, that sounds like a good idea, but then we're kind of just consenting to being punished, right? And then finally, Beelzebub is like, yo, Satan, right? Remember Satan mentioned that God is making a new group of people, and then Satan said that there's gonna be mankind and earth and stuff. We should just fuck things up over there and inconvenience God some more. And then everyone's like, yeah, what a great idea, but who's gonna do it? And then Satan, acting all like, boo, like, I know it'll be really hard, and I don't want to put you guys through that, so I can do it. You know, trying to pretend that he's not just volunteering because he knows he's gonna get, like, mad dick if he succeeds, right? So, there you go. He volunteers, and he's like, and then he goes up and tries to go to Earth. And there are people guarding the gates. One girl named Sin and a dude named Death. And this is it, like, it's super fucked up, right? Because apparently Satan gave birth to sin in the same way that, like, what's his name gave birth, Zeus gave birth to that one girl, like, just through his head. And and they were like, sorry, I have a hard time braining sometimes. So they were like, yeah, don't you remember you gave birth to me, and then you thought I was hot, and then you fucked me, and then I gave birth to, so this is sin talking, not sin, what, this is sin talking, and then I gave birth to your son Death, who's the other guy guarding the gates, and then Death decided I was hot and fucked me, and now I have hellhounds going in and out of my vag. I was like, excuse me? Like, what? I was like so perplexed as to what on earth was going on. But like, how do you like, what? And but Satan, he was like, oh yeah, I remember, sure. I'm actually here to free you, so if you let me out, I could totally let you out too. And they were like, we love you, bro. And then they let Satan out, and Satan went to Earth. And I know what you're thinking, right? How can you love Satan after you find out that he fucked his daughter and all that jazz? What's crazy is that if you look in the Bible, I'm pretty sure incest isn't actually, like, banned. Banned. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay, trust me, this is looking like some weird, like, flag that LGBTQ plus community hasn't made up yet, but it'll get better. It will get better eventually. I just gotta keep mixing paint. That's like my motto. It's always gonna look a little bit awful at the beginning. And to be fair, I don't think we're gonna finish this today, because I kind of want this bottom bit to dry. Ew, that looks so ugly. It looks so ugly. I kind of want this bottom bit to dry before we actually get much farther. So he ends up on Earth somehow. Well, actually, he shot up into Earth like a freaking hurricane. No, like a bullet or whatever. And again, trying to make him look all majestic. How can you not love him? I guess you can't love him because, you know, he did all those awful things, but I should really learn to clean my brush more. Yeah. So that's where you find out that God's new creation or whatever was Earth and humanity and stuff. And you see Earth dangling from chains in heaven. So, yeah. It doesn't have, like... Oh, there we go. See, you can fix anything with white. Then, like, everyone's really angry. Well, not everyone. It's mainly just Satan who's angry. He's like, I can't believe after everything I've done, like, I was such a good angel or whatever. Well, actually, he was talking about how he was the best angel, and that, like, because he was the best angel... Okay, you know what? This thing is not... Me talking about this is probably not going to help anyone, because I lose my own train of thought so often. Anyways, he was like, if I hadn't been such a magnificent angel, like right so high from close to the top of angelhood, then maybe I wouldn't have been seduced into trying to defeat God and stuff, because he's like, I was so epic. If I was any more epic, I would have been God, basically, and that's why he did it. Not because he's a bad person or anything. No. That's just a common misconception. He's actually not a bad guy, but he was just given so much power that he couldn't stop himself. Yeah, that was his excuse, basically. Not the best one, but it was an excuse. Okay, I think we're getting there. It just looks like stripes of color. I promise it'll get better. I promise. I don't know how much I can promise, but I promise regardless that it will indeed get better. Which, you know, is more than I can say about life. So he sees he sees Adam and Eve and how beautiful they are, and he gets really upset because why are they getting all this stuff, but the people in hell get punished for, you know, just wanting to be better. So he's like, I'm gonna find a way to make them less than perfect so that God will kick them out too. So he transforms a whole bunch, and we get to see some stuff from Adam and Eve too. Like, they have a full sex scene, so that's something. There's like, because I feel like Milton was a very avid believer of like how sex isn't bad as long as it's within wedlock. Like, that there's purity and like beauty and in sex, in love and stuff, if it's within wedlock. So it's really weird, right? Okay, obviously I'm skipping a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going between plots and stuff like that. But it's really weird because you can never really tell what side Milton was on. Like, you can't tell whether Milton was trying to like support Satan, or if Milton was on God's side or whatever of the thing, because he really he like super makes Satan a super attractive character, right? Like, not just like in looks and stuff, but like in emotion. Like, you really feel for him. And like, Milton was a devout Christian, so it can get kind of confusing. Like, did you support Satan, or are you a Christian and you support God? Like, make up your mind. But I feel like there were a lot of things wrong with Christianity in Victorian England, so he was probably just trying to make a statement about how they needed to change that. Okay. I think we're almost done. The background, and then I think that'll be it for this portion. And we'll try to pick it up again next time I feel like painting, I guess. I promise it'll be soon. I won't leave you guys hanging with my thoughts on Milton for too long. That was not a good idea. I'm always full of bad ideas, apparently. Okie dokie. Let's just grab a little bit more of that blue. Go over my mistakes because I make a lot of them. And like get rid of the green. Maybe I should have followed a like tutorial or something, like Bob Ross, because Bob Ross always kind of leads you to greatness, whereas I lead you to something, but it sure as hell ain't greatness. Oh no, that's a bad idea. I have another one of these brushes. Guess I'll use this one. It started when we were younger, you were mine, my boo. Am I gonna get copyright claimed? You know what? I don't even make money off these things. I don't think it matters at the end of the day. So, yeah. That is the baseline of the base of our soon-to-be painting of hell, earth, and heaven. I'm gonna let this dry, and I'll end the episode here, I think. The thing. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is gonna be a long video, I feel like. I'll cut it down a little bit. So, again, it's really nice hanging out. Bye-bye.